If somebody had told me about a year and a half ago that I'd be making these super ambitious reworks for every vanilla Terraria boss, I'm not sure I would have believed him, and yet, here we are. Cursed mode is almost complete, with only 2 bosses remaining, that being Lunatic Cultist and Moonlord. And these last two, especially Moonlord, are going to have to be extra ambitious to live up to the hype. But on that topic, as many of you well know, the last rework I've made so far was for Duke Fishron, and I'll admit, that one was pretty simple and unambitious compared to, say, the Plantera rework or the Golem rework. Some would say almost to a fault, but I'm happy with it. However, it is funny to think about. Back when I started modding, making a boss like the Duke Fishron rework would have seemed an impossible task, and if it had been my first boss ever, that would have been pretty impressive. But now, it's pretty simple and unambitious, almost even lazy, you might say. Now, I'm not trying to say that everyone's expectations are too high and you should worship me for making the Duke Fishron rework, but it does kind of take me back to the old days when my plans for Forgotten Evils weren't nearly as ambitious. In truth, Cursed mode in itself was never meant to be a serious project. Quite the opposite, actually. It was originally intended to just make bosses have some silly, really basic changes to them that made the fights harder, but not really better necessarily. I mean, come on, it's literally called Cursed mode. I decided I was gonna shoot a little higher when I made the Wall of Flesh rework, but it was only when I made the King Slime rework that I decided I was going to try and make something truly spectacular. You could say it was that pivotal moment that changed the course of history, though I'm just a guy on the internet who makes weird boss fights and hates on the Empress of Light. But for me, this mod has pretty much been the biggest thing I've ever worked on, which is kinda sad to be honest, but hey, I'm young. It's a decent place to start. That being said, many people probably don't know this, but in Forgotten Evils, the Forgotten Seal, which is used to activate Cursed mode, can be thrown in the Shimmer to be turned into the Inverted Seal, which activates Cursed mode but also activates Beta Cursed mode reworks for bosses that haven't received a proper rework yet. These were their original reworks before it was decided that Cursed mode was going to be a serious project, and I thought it'd be fun to include, but now pretty much every boss's Beta Cursed mode rework has been phased out, except for Lunatic Cultist and Moonlord. As such, I thought it'd be a good idea to show off the rejected Moonlord rework, as I'll call it, just to kinda show a glimpse of what Cursed mode might have been if things had gone differently. It should be said that the beta Moonlord rework is far better than any of the other reworks from beta Cursed mode, but that's not saying much. I put some genuine effort into it, working on it on and off during the early stages of development, but I quickly realized that the Moonlord rework was going to need to be something truly mind-blowing, not just an okay Moonlord rework. I sincerely hope nobody who clicked on this video was expecting this to be the Moonlord rework, and if you did, I do apologize for that. The day is coming soon when I will try to make that happen, but until then, please enjoy this footage of the forgotten Moonlord rework. Also, if you haven't heard yet, 100% of my viewers are subscribed, so if you aren't subscribed yet, then you don't exist.